Welcome, everyone. Welcome aboard the citizenship. I say that because we're all deep in Admiralty jurisdiction. And so how many people here could tell me, we're going to start with the notion of transport tonight, because transport's a favourite one of mine. How many people can tell me what they think transport really means?
A means to get from A to B, maybe?
Good.
Well, mechanised transport, vehicles, etc.
Okay, vehicles.
Just a means to get around.
Okay. So transport, let's take it apart. Transport. Everything in this world is based on this Admiralty jurisdiction. It's all to do with the high seas, vessels, ports, and all of those laws are all basically laws and jurisdictions that come from England originally and are copyrighted, I believe, to the Bar Association or something like that in England. So once you move over the seas, it falls into Admiralty jurisdiction. So when you go into some of the courts and you see flags that have, like this trim on them, this gold trim, you're actually in an Admiralty court. So it becomes something like the high seas here. Now, transport is the transfer between two ports. So what are we transferring here? What are we transporting?
Well,
Usually,
goods and people.
yeah, we're actually transporting people. The people themselves are the goods. They're the cargo. So the vehicle or the vessel actually becomes, the road actually becomes like the shipping lane, and so you actually transfer something from one port to another port, and it's regulated by the transport, Department of Transport. Right? So where does this all leave us? Well, we have these things called vehicles that we're told are vehicles, are private automobiles. What they really are another type of vehicle or vessel to ship around the Strawman. So we all have our Strawmans. Anyone here not know what the Strawman is?
I'm not that clear on
No.
what the
Okay.
definition
Well,
is.
the Strawman is probably the first place we should start. The Strawman is your front. He's the all capital letter fiction that the governments and corporations create. This is where the matrix comes in. Like, there's the natural world, and there's the machine world. And the machine world, the digital world, emulates the natural world. There's the hidden world, and it emulates it in three ways, and that's with electricity, water, and salt. They're the three basic constituents of all life, and the machine world emulates that. And so you have Admiralty jurisdiction, you have circuit courts, you have charges, you have discharges, and all of the other elements that make up this machine world are based on the natural world. And so it's this kind of duplicate, so that we don't actually see it or know that it's there. So your Strawman, this all capital letter fiction, is created when you're birthed. Okay, when you come down the birth canal, out of one vessel, you're basically docked. The cargo is unladen, and you're registered. The cargo is now in a new port, let's say. So you are registered with the government, and you get a number, and you're assigned an all capital letter version of yourself, the digital you. Okay, not the natural you. This is the digital you. And what the government does is it takes that digital you, and it creates an account, and that account is called the Strawman, and the government uses that account as actually takes out a loan, and it becomes a record of your future earnings. So throughout your life, your Strawman will be the transmitting utility through which all commerce takes place in your incarnated form on this planet. Okay. So every time that you move around or do anything, or go out in public, or go to a shopping centre, a centre of commerce, or any of those things, or drive or put into motion an automobile, or in this case a vessel or a vehicle, you're actually complying with, or you might have to go out and get a license and apply for a license, and all these things are regulated. But they are all public, and they are all a part of this system. They have nothing to do with the private realm, which is what you see outside. Parked outside is my private automobile. Okay. Now the private automobile isn't registered to the government because it's mine. Now if you notice on everyone's license plate you'll see a number and you'll see a state, because it's licensed to a state within a government. So it's a particular allocation. Okay. Now all of those vehicles that you see on the road are commercial, whether they tell you that or whether they're not, but they're all commercial. Because when you drive, that's a commercial activity. You actually put into motion a commercial vehicle for the purpose of transporting one cargo or one person. What you're actually transporting is that straw man. You're responsible for that straw man. So when you see an ambulance racing down the road to save somebody, they're not going to save you. They're actually going to make sure that that straw man is looked after, because that transmitting utility is the real money that the governments have. That's the collateral that they use. They don't have any money. There is no money. It's, if you think there's any money, we're going to look at that right now, and we're going to show you that there actually is no money, and you're going to see that our labour is the thing that actually the government holds as its collateral. And so we become, if you travel overseas, for example, I'm going to go, would you be able to get my port pass? It's on the desk. Let's get the port pass. Now, how many of you have a port pass?
Passport.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. The passport. The port pass disguised as a passport.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The port pass is your documentation which allows your straw person to go to another country as a foreign exchange. Okay. You become the self-loading baggage. When you go to a seaport or an airport and you board a commercial airline, okay, you take your straw man and you show your details, your credentials, and it's an exchange. Okay, there's a commodity and it's being exchanged with another country. So of course, there's all these regulations and things. Now, what I've done, just pass this around and have a look. And tell me if you notice anything at all different about my port pass. Now, while it's being passed around, I'm going to write down here something on this bit of this paper here. So this little piece of paper here is going to be money. This is going to become currency. And I'm going to write down here $1,000, and I'm going to pass that over there. There we go. And I'm going to write down on this piece of paper here $100, and I'm going to give that to you as well. Right. Now, I'm going to ask you to sign your name on this piece of paper. And what we're going to do here is we're going to break down this interesting signature. Okay, now you hang on to that, and you give me back the $1,000 piece of paper. Right. What we're going to do here is we're going to create a little bit of a credit card facility here. Right. Let's say our friend over here, I'm going to be the credit card facility, the credit card provider. I could be GE, I could be any one of a number of corporations. This person believes that money is real. So he's going to come to me and ask me for $1,000 credit so that he can go out and perhaps purchase something else, which he doesn't actually realize has already been paid for. It's actually prepaid, because everything is prepaid by the labor of the people who create it. Right? Mm-hmm. We're not actually paid with anything of any value, and here's the point.